doing? You think funny, right? You think he's a funny guy. So, well, apparently he thinks he's a funny guy too. So he's decided to do stand-up. I think we're 2 years into the damn stand-up thing now. He has Frank go up on stage and this one and that one. Well, he has his new comedy show, which was in Princeton, New Jersey, at a comedy club in Princeton, New Jersey. Catch a Rising Star. So Joey is our rising RHONJ star. He did this on October 14th, I believe. And in the audience was Messy G, of course. I'm Messy D. So from one Messy to the next, hello, Messy G. And was Donna Marco, her mother, all her sisters. They went to support. Now, we also had in the audience, we had Rachel and John Fuda, and we had Joe Benigno. Margaret was not in attendance. She was busy that night, Miss Margaret Josephs. So they're in the audience. Fuda and Josie and Josie. I'm telling you, they are one and the same. They're in the audience. So basically, here he is. He did an interview prior to this comedy event where he said, listen, let's shout out the comedy. It's not about New Jersey. I talk about like family and, love and sex and everything like a normal married couple or engaged couple would be talking about. Just, whatever. Well, I don't know how far into the comedy show because A, I didn't attend. B, I don't even know if I would be let in if I attended. They would probably have security toss me out. You know what I'm saying? But you know what, guys? Let me tell you something. It's better to be feared than loved, and you are not doing your job in this world if people are not wanting to throw you out of events, especially with what I do. So there you go. So he starts, for a show that's not going to be about New Jersey. And don't worry, I'm coming for Teresa in a minute too. I have bad news for all the TreHuggers because she ain't innocent here either. But so he says he doesn't want to talk about, apparently we're talking about New Jersey here today for a minute. I got other stuff to talk about though. I want to talk about Shannon Beador in a few minutes. But he says that he doesn't want to talk about New Jersey. And I think soon into the act, he starts talking about Teresa. So now he starts talking about how first he asked the audience, who's my only living family member? And everyone obviously is shouting out Teresa. I guess somebody shouted out Melissa. Could it have been Melissa herself? Probs. Could it have been Donna Marco? Hey, mom, listen, just don't get my makeup dirty. But during the show, when Joey asked this, shout out my name. I don't know. Maybe it was one of the sisters of Melissa, but someone shouts out Melissa as everyone else is shouting out Teresa. And Josephina is like, you're right. It's Melissa Gorga. That's my only family. Okay, fair enough. But this sounds like we are going to talk about New Jersey, Josephina, and we are going to talk about Teresa because that's how you get your coins, right? That's how I get my coins, but at least I'm admitting it here. So then he goes on. This story, I'm so confused by this guy. He starts telling a story about how he had a dream. I'm like, okay. And that in the dream, Teresa, he had died. Well, this does not sound like a comedy evening to me. We have a death already. And Teresa is going to give his eulogy. And in the dream, when Teresa gives the eulogy, she says something like, that bitch killed my brother. So now we're talking about the feud between Melissa and Teresa, which is not going to be shown on the new season of RHONJ because they're not speaking, but Josephina is talking about it. So apparently in the dream, Teresa gives the eulogy and she gets up and says, that bitch killed my brother, talking about Melissa. And then he says, well, Teresa says in the dream, I should have known when she brought me sprinkle cookies instead of pinoli cookies. Did anyone laugh at this? I guess that's the punchline. And I'm really not trying to be mean. I'm really, really, really not. I'm just giving my honest opinion. Is that funny? I'm laughing, I guess, but that's the dream. That's the punchline. We're talking about Teresa. And apparently the eulogy said, I should have known when she brought me sprinkle cookies instead of pinoli cookies, that she would kill my brother. Man, now I think stand-up is very, very difficult. I think it's one of the most difficult things to do. I have the honor of calling Melissa Gorga I mean, oh my God, look at that Freudian slip. I have the honor of calling Melissa Rivers one of my good friends, and her mother was the biggest, number one, most comedic, brilliant legend that has ever existed. I don't think for me, there'll be a comedian, male, female, non-binary. This is an all-inclusive podcast, guys, that I would like better than Joan Rivers. Joey Gorga, I admit that stand-up is very hard, but is this funny? That's the punchline. I don't know. I don't know. So Joey is having a week. It's the week of Joey. You know what? If last week were the week of Teresa Giudice, this is the week of Joey Gorga, Josephina. Keg stands, comedy shows, and becoming a partner in a law firm that you're obviously getting paid to talk about. Why choose Joey? That's where it's like, oh God, something shady is going on. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. And I wish everybody luck. Teresa had her podcast recently, not this week, the week before, or the week before that, and it just all went over my head. I didn't really focus on this appearance by Miss Teresa, which is going to be on the show. It's filmed, and will it end up on the cutting room floor? Probs, but maybe not. It really couldn't be on the show. Why not? Sorry, as I drank my coffee. So Teresa has a podcast, and at her podcast, she's now telling a story. Now, although Joey, I guess, never mentioned Teresa's name, he just said my sister. Unlike that, though, she doesn't even get into who she's talking about. But I mean, it's pretty obvious she's talking about her brother. She starts to talk about a page from her diary. Ooh, we're going to get into Miss Giudice's diary. The TreHuggers are very excited for this, aren't they? Many of them attended the show, and I'm really happy about that for the TreHuggers. So she says, that all she wanted as a little girl, and I believe this is true. This is Teresa's diary, so of course it's true. All she wanted as, a child is to make her parents proud. I actually really do believe that. Come on, that's Teresa. Look, Teresa's a good girl. She is a good girl. I'm sorry, she is. Love her or hate her. She's annoying at times. She's not so nice at times, but she's a good girl. She says family's everything. And when she was young, it was so easy. Family's everything, make your parents proud. But as an adult, not so much. Well, gee, I wonder what and who you could be talking about. For two people that aren't speaking, I mean, they certainly talk about each other a lot. There's people I'm not speaking to at this moment, nor will ever speak to again. I don't talk to them. I don't think about them. They don't enter my thoughts, although they are right now, but that's another story. Anyway, I am digressing here, people. So she says she's at peace in her live stand-up. She's at peace. And peace is accepting that things change, no matter how difficult the truth is. Peace is just accepting the truth. So Teresa is now at peace.